Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our weekly paper portfolio check-in. Today is actually a really good example of what long-term investing often looks like in the real world. Not much is happening, and that's okay. As of today's check-in, the portfolio value is just over $9,000, and we're up a little over $1,000 overall, which puts us at about 13.71% gain since starting the portfolio. Most of the positions are simply doing what they're supposed to do. Let's take a quick look. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, continues to be our biggest winner and has continued the majority of the portfolio's gains. VTI and SCHD, they're just doing what they're supposed to do. They're long-term investments, and they continue to steadily appreciate over time. SoFi remains positive and is now at the 100 share level, which is an important milestone if someone wants to learn about covered call strategies in the future, which we will be doing at some point in time. But we need to get the price. What did we purchased it at 1736, 1819. We need to SoFi needs to get to at least about $20 before we do that. So right now we're just in a holding pattern with that, but we still have our 100 shares. Let's see. Not every position is green. Of course, Celsius H and Meta are currently down from our purchase prices, but that's part of investing. We don't expect every position to move up all of the time. And honestly, that's the lesson I want to talk about today. When people start investing, they often think they need to check their portfolio every day, make changes every week, or constantly react to market movements. But if your portfolio contains long-term investments like VTI or SCHD, there really isn't much to do most of the time. These investments are designed to compound over years and decades, not days and weeks. That doesn't mean you ignore your portfolio. It means you manage it intelligently. For example, if you own more volatile growth stocks, you can use tools like price alerts, which notify you if a stock reaches a certain level, stop loss orders, which can help manage downside risk, periodic check-ins like we're doing today, rather than watching every tick of the market. The goal isn't to babysit your investments. The goal is to build a portfolio that can work for you while you're busy living your life. As for this week's decision, I'm considering adding 5 additional shares of SCHD, which would bring that position up to 50 shares. I like the idea of continuing to build the dividend and income portion of the portfolio gradually over time rather than making dramatic changes. So let me just jump in here now. Let's go over to SCHD. And we got those. Okay. All right. Let me go into add to the position. That's one way you can add your shares, and you would just count, pick the shares you want and the price. Or, let's see, we'd be over in monitor. Then you pop over to trade. Here, let me delete this for 1 second. You can go over to trade and hover. Actually, you got to put it inside your ticker here, SCHD. Click on it, and then you could hover over the price and then hit buy. Those are the 2 ways. I'm just reminding us because sometimes we don't do it often, and repetition is definitely the mother of skill. And it would bring up the same order entry box. They both work exactly the same. So whichever one you're more comfortable with, you can use. All right, so we're going to say we're going to buy 5 shares of SCHD. The current trading price is around $31.92. Usually I'll jump into the charts to see what price action has been doing over the past couple of days. And this has been probably, let's see, this would have been last Thursday. Today's Monday. This would have been Thursday. So it's a little bit above Thursday. The buyers stepped in. We had some ranging. The buyers stepped in again. Sellers stepped in a little bit here, did some ranging. Not really too much. So where we are right now compared to this morning, where it was trading, it was around $32. So now it's around 31.91. So yeah, I mean, I'm cool here. It's not like we have large sell-off candles that say, hey, let's wait another half an hour and take a look at it because we could probably get it lower. I mean, it's kind of in a ranging mode, so that's a good spot to be. So let's jump out of trading view and pop over here. It says 31.93. I'm cool with that. All right, so we're gonna go with buy 5 shares of SCHD, the ETF, 31.94 as a limit buy. I lock it. Good to the end of the day. Confirm and send. We have our order confirmation dialog box. We'll be paying $159.70, which is gonna leave us probably 661 minus 159. And somewhere in the 400-ish range. All right, so we're just gonna do it. Hit the send button. And now that we put a limit buy on there, the order will not fill unless our price target has been hit. So as you can see right up here, it just filled the order. So now we have $501 in buying power. And now if we go back to our monitor tab, we will be able to notice, let me close this for 1 second. Now we have 50 shares. Yeah, and now that's where we are. So I want to show you a little quick goodie here. Now, if you ever wondered, when you buy shares, like we buy shares in groups sometimes, you might buy 5 shares today, 50 shares, 10 shares, 3 shares, 1 share, a fraction share, whatever you end up doing. If you ever wanted to know what happened, how we bought them, if you click on the quantity, it'll show you every day we added to SCHD. On April 8th, we bought 25 shares at $30.69. And they're at a certain level of profit or loss at that price. Then on the 15th, we bought 10 shares. On April 28th, we bought 10 shares. And today, we just rounded it up to make it another 5 shares to make a total of 50. And these are all the prices you paid for them. So you can actually go in at some point with any position you have and just sell from that specific price target, which comes later when we talk about dollar cost averaging. And sometimes if I buy a share expense, like where I paid a lot for it and then price ends up dropping, sometimes I'll buy shares cheaper because my intention is when that price target gets hit. For example, the most we ever paid for it was actually today. Like let's say price is gonna go up and I want to like not have this 31.94 and I buy it lower, I might buy extra shares so that when price target either breaks even with this number or makes more money and it's in profit, I can sell just these 5 shares and drop down the average cost of the remaining shares. So that's just something we can look into sometime in the future. We're not doing that at this point, but I did want to point that out, that is a thing. And yeah, that's that. And at this point, I really don't have much else to share with you. Sometimes successful investing isn't about doing more. It's about having the confidence to do less. Thanks for watching along with the journey, and I'll see you in next week for another portfolio check-in. Happy trading, happy investing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.